Welcome everyone to another edition of Chaski Chats. Each week, of course, we host a guest who's accomplished something truly exceptional in the world of endurance athletics and bring you a live conversation curated by our incredible staff here at Chaski and featuring questions submitted by all of you, our amazing audience and fans. I'm your host, Tyler Andrews. We are continuing to highlight the stars of Hoka's Project Carbon X2, a 100-kilometer road race happening on January 3rd, 2021, where a small field of elite ultrarunners will attempt to break records. This week, we're joined by Camille Herron, already a multi-time world record holder, multi-time world champion, all at ultra distances. And she recently signed a brand new professional contract with Hoka, just announced that, and is making her debut with the brand at next week's 100K road event. So we are waiting for her to tune in here and hop in, and then we will get right into the thick of it. We've got lots of great questions submitted by all of you guys in the audience. Again, remember, if you want to submit questions, make sure you're following Chaski and look for those posts. We do post them once a week when we announce our Chaski Chats, and take questions from the audience and then curate those into one long program that we will then bring you live each Sunday afternoon. So Camille and I first met back in 2015. We were both on the World Championship team for 50K that year in Doha. She's just a fantastic human being. We had a lot of fun together, along with a whole slew of other amazing athletes out in Doha. And it wasn't until, I think, after that race, which she won, by the way, she won 50K World Championship 2015. I think she had already won the 100K World Championship the year before, that she really completely rose to prominence in the ultra world. Went on to later set world records at 100 miles, at 24 hours. She won the 24-hour World Championship as well. So she just has an incredible resume, an incredibly diverse portfolio in terms of being competitive all the way back down to the marathon earlier in her career, where she ran 2:37, all the way up to running. I have to look up the time. I want to say it's 12:40 something is her 100-mile world record, and then her 24-hour women's world record is just unbelievably strong. Has not been matched. Hasn't really even come close. And recently, I believe maybe 2017, Camille also won the Comrades Marathon, which is one of the most competitive races in the ultra world, at least on the road side of things. And here she is now. We're going to let her in. I'm glad I was able to give you guys, but we'll let her in and let her do most of the talking, because that'll be way more fun for all of us. So here is Camille. Hey, Camille, how's it going?
Hey, great to see you, Tyler. How's it going?
Yeah. I'm doing really well. Yeah. It's been a while. How's training for Carbon X going?
Yeah, it's been a really fun past month. I think Connor may have tried to tell you that I've put in over 500 miles the past month, so
Amazing.
I've been crunch training for this.
Awesome. Well, we've got lots of questions. Really stoked to have you here. We've interviewed Jim Walmsley. We interviewed Hayden Hawks last week, and now I'm really excited to talk to you. So we've got a whole bunch of questions that we've got from our fans and listeners and stuff, and let's just dive into it. So first question, you've been, as my intro stated, dominating at these kind of long runnable ultras for a while with all these world records and world championships. And we've really seen you excel in the super long stuff, like 24 hours, 100 miles. So what made you want to kind of come back down in distance and do something that to you is actually relatively short nowadays?
Yeah. So originally when I got into the sport back in 2015, I ran my first 100K, and it felt like Billy Elliott ballet for the first time. So I just felt like I had found my purpose. One of my purposes as in life, and that 100K felt so good. And then I went to the World Championship, and uh, not really knowing if I like could go for the American record at the time, but I got pretty darn close that time. So I didn't know how to fuel at that time. I was still very new to the sport and just trying to figure out how to do this ultra running thing. And so obviously I got pulled into running further and further, and I've kind of found my sweet spot at like 100 miles to 24 hours. And yeah, I mean, I felt like that this I've set so many records, and this is the one record that got away from me. And I feel like I owe it to myself to step back down and just try to get myself back in shape and see if I can go for that American record. But yeah, I'm really, it's really hard to have opportunities to run competitive fast 100Ks. And obviously the past year, nobody could have predicted this. Like, we were supposed to have the 100K World Championship, and that didn't happen. And so yeah, I feel pretty excited and motivated, and I'm really thankful to Hoka that they're putting on an event like this. And I just felt like I needed to do it, and I just owe it to myself to try and get back into 100K shape and try to go for that record.
Yeah.
So
Awesome. And I guess specifically, you talked a little bit when you first hopped on about, kind of cramming in all this training. Have you done anything differently for a race that is shorter, for 100K that's, faster, shorter versus, say your last attempt, which I think was a 48 hour? Like, what's the differences in training been like?
oh yeah, it's very different. I mean, I haven't run a competitive marathon in 7 years. I haven't run a fast 100K in 5.5 years. And so yeah, as you mentioned, I've been trying to go for these much longer events where you're really comfortable for a long period of time. And so stepping back down, trying to run marathon pace, it hurts. It really hurts. And I can to get to marathon shape. And I think I need a little bit more time to get myself back into that level of fitness. But I'm definitely motivated. I feel like the past month has really like sparked my desire, my motivation to get back there. And yeah, I mean, I feel like that this is going to be a stepping stone to getting back into American record type of shape. So yeah, I feel that yeah, I mean, I'm super excited to get back into it, and that kind of burn for 7 hours, that's gonna be really fun. So
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about training specifics. So you mentioned you'd done 500 miles in the last month or so. What's your mileage been like, kind of on a week to week basis, and what have your longest long runs look like?
yeah, I think you're cutting out, Tyler. Yeah,
Oh, sorry, am I here? Hang on,
I'm
give me one
pretty
second.
comfortable. I've more on my getting back to my marathon fitness that I had here 5 to 10 years ago. And so I feel like just trying to raise my ceiling and trying to get back to that marathon shape that I had. that's really going to be key. And I mean, it's just something that takes time to develop that kind of speed again. But I feel like I have a pretty good, strong aerobic base right now. I've put in some really good volume, and yeah, I mean that's what gives me confidence to know that I can go the distance for sure. It's just a matter of trying to work my legs to turn over fast again.
Yeah, yeah. I hear that. So then let's talk a little bit about Hoka. Give them a little bit of props here. Obviously, they are putting this event on. They're your new sponsor. It's super exciting. So tell us about like the switch into the Hoka brand. Like, what shoes have you been training in? And then what do you think of the new shoe that this event is based on, the Carbon X2? Have you done much running in that?
Yeah, yeah. So I actually feel like it was a bit of serendipity that I was able to join with Hoka. That I was at the point in my contract with Nike where I could start looking at other sponsors, and I had talked it over with my agent, Mark Mastelier, about the possibility of, branching away from Nike and, maybe finding somebody that's a better fit for me. And so I was out for a run one day, and I knew that the Hoka event was happening. I think they were trying to keep it under wraps, but the word gets out to me,
Yeah.
obviously. And so so I was out for a run one day, and I tell you, I just had this feeling in my heart that I was supposed to run this race. And I got back from my run, and I told Connor, I was like, Connor, you gotta get in touch with Mike, because I was just like, I just feel like I need to train for something hard. I need to train for something hard, and I can appreciate that a road 100K is a very, very hard thing to do. And so sure enough, Connor was able to get in touch with Mike, and I mean, he was thrilled. He was thrilled to hear from me, and that I wanted to be part of the event. And yeah, I mean, I feel like it was just a match made in heaven. That he welcomed me, and I think that the biggest thing was when I never tried Hokas. At least not I didn't try the recent Hokas. I think I tried them like many years ago when they were still a new brand. And so to try the new shoes, they sent me shoes within a couple of days. Teresa was really wonderful with that, and it was like Cinderella finding her glass slipper. It really, really awesome. I mean, I put on my first, I don't even remember, they sent me like 15 pairs, and I put on my first pair, and I mean, it was like running on clouds. It was just really incredible. And I feel like, I mean, I've run for such a long time. I've run in so many different shoes, and this was different. This was like, I felt like it's rejuvenated my legs. Like, I mean, I've had one of my best months of training in quite a while. And I mean, I really credit it to the shoes. I think the cushioning is just really, really nice. That Hoka's really mastered how to make a soft, light, responsive shoe. And my feet, my legs, my whole body just feels really, really good in them. And so yeah, as far as the shoes that I really like, as far as like I prefer kind of more of a lighter shoe to train in. So I've been training mostly in like the Rincon 2 and the Mach. They sent me the Mach 4. Which is like a marshmallow. I mean, that thing is just super incredible. I really, really like those shoes, and everybody likes the Clifton. And I actually haven't gotten to run the Clifton. We had to get my size changed, so I haven't run the Clifton yet. But I ran the Clifton Edge, and I really like that shoe. It's a really fun type of responsive, light version of the Clifton. So I like that one. But yeah, as far as the road racing shoes, I've had the Carbon X too for just over a week, and did a long hard workout in it. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely it's one of those shoes that it's durable. Like that thing could definitely go the distance. I feel like the rubber that they put on it is definitely a durable type of rubber. and yeah, and it's a pretty firm, stiffer shoe. So I feel like it gives stability to, being able to go those long distances like I do. That yeah, you want to be in a shoe that just can go the distance. And so yeah, I kind of see it as like a lightweight trainer to rotate with my the Rocket X. So the Rocket X, I think actually of all the shoes that I've tried, like the first time they sent me all the shoes, the Rocket X, I tried that on, and it just felt like my feet sunk into it. It was just super comfortable. I actually think that was the first shoe I ran in, that got me sold on the brand, was the Rocket X. And so I love that shoe. I mean, it feels so good running fast in it, and it kind of reminds me of a combination of a bunch of my favorite all-time shoes. So yeah, I mean, as far as like, great race shoes, and then trail shoes, I mean, there's I think the cool thing is that Hoka's created so many great shoes that, you have a shoe for everything. And I'm a versatile athlete. I like to do both road, trail, 50K, 24 hours, I want to go, multi-day stuff. And so, if I'm on the trails, I go for the Torrent 2 is my shoe. Really, really like that shoe. I'm so light on my feet that the Torrent 2 feels like a really good racer, a trail racer. Great grip to it, very light and nimble, and just super, super comfortable. So.
Awesome. Can you tell us about that last long workout that you did? I'm curious to hear what you're up to. Could nerd out about training a little bit here for a minute.
Yeah. I joke. I call it my secret sauce workout. So I can't give it all away, but
okay.
But there, like I'm sure everybody has like a standard workout that they do that you can kind of judge where your fitness is, in compared to past cycles. So yeah, I mean, it's this workout that I actually created the workout that I did before the 100K World Championship 5.5 years ago. And it's just a really gritty workout. It's about 19 to 20 miles. And yeah, I'm just changing paces. And I get a sense of, what I'm capable of from that workout. And yeah, I mean, as far as, how I compare to past, cycles that I've done, I'm in a little bit better shape than when I won the Comrades Marathon. So I'm definitely in good shape, and judging by how I did the workout before I won Comrades, and now I'm a little bit better shape. So yeah, I think I'm in really, really good shape. I don't think I'm quite in peak shape yet to chase the American record, but I'm getting there, and I have a lot of confidence that I'm gonna put forth a pretty good effort, and I'm somebody that likes to compete, and I'm a better racer than I am a trainer. So for me to be able to, have a really strong, the secret sauce workout, that gives me the confidence that, yeah, I feel like I'm ready to do something pretty good. So.
All right, the secret sauce workout. I love it. We'll leave it at that. So, okay, couple questions here about that people had about kind of what you do beyond running. So do you do anything specifically either in the weight room or body weight stuff or yoga or anything like that for kind of injury prevention, cross training, strength training, things like that?
Yeah. So normally, like if I was training for Comrades or World Championship, I get in the gym twice a week, starting about 2 months before. I get in the gym twice a week, and I have six exercises that I do with my upper body. And I usually do that either the day of a workout or the day after the workout. And so I use heavy weights, and I push myself to the point of fatigue, doing all the circuit of exercises. So yeah, we've been traveling here a lot the past month, so I haven't really been in my normal strength training routine, but I've just been running a lot of miles. So but yeah, I mean that I usually do that strength training, and I wouldn't say I'm somebody that's like super into cross training. I don't am. I actually just bought my first adult bike last spring. So I'm not somebody that's really into all that. I don't think you want me to be swimming actually.
Okay, we won't see you on the triathlon circuit then.
Not a triathlete, but yeah, besides the strength training, I mean, I guess I do a lot of things for my hips, especially with age and being at home more and sitting more. I kind of do like single leg exercises, just to kind of warm up my hips before I go out running every day. So just like single leg squats and step ups and that kind of thing, just kind of balancing or jumping, one foot or
Mhm.
the other, working on kind of loosening up my legs and my hips before I go run. So, yeah, I guess the other thing is I have like what is it, the stick. You have
Oh
a
yeah.
stick, and I have a sidekick massage tool that's really awesome. So I'm really keen on if I have any sort of like body aches or just trying to warm up my quads or my calves. So yeah, that's kind of about the extent of just trying to do like soft massage type stuff. So.
Awesome. I think a lot of people will be jealous of like how resilient you are and how much you're just like running and out there crushing mileage and not, whatever. I know some runners who are like, they'll spend 5 hours a day doing kind of other little things. Then I know others who are like, yeah, I just run a lot and that keeps me healthy. And it's like, oh man, people get jealous of that, but I think it's awesome if you can pull it off. Good for you. Um,
I guess you could say I have to train my gut muscles too. You're eating so much, like these 24-hour races. So if I'm not running, I'm eating, and eating is training too. So yeah.
Yeah. And that's actually a great segue because people did ask about kind of your nutritional strategy during the race. Obviously, that's going to look pretty different than a 24-hour race. So I'm actually not sure. Do you have a sponsor that you use with nutrition? Do you use a specific product? And kind of what's your strategy on a race like this that's about 7 hours?
Yeah. So I think for the shorter ultras like this, you can pretty much just get away with like gels and sports drink and water. So that's really going to be my strategy. I try to aim for 60 to 90 grams of carbohydrates per hour. So I usually alternate a gel with water every 30 minutes, and then I sip on a sports drink every 10 to 15 minutes. So yeah, I really just try to stay within that 60 to 90 grams per hour. And I find that usually kind of later in the race, I'm not sure if it's going to hit me for 100K because that still is a pretty short race, uh, but when I usually hit a point where I start needing more calories. So if I'm going like 100 miles or beyond, then I switch to like a higher calorie drink or taking other solids or that sort of thing. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how I'm feeling running 100K because that's a short of race for me. uh,
Yeah.
I guess the harder thing is, I mean, going shorter, you're going at a faster pace, so you're burning through your glycogen faster. And I find that you kind of start to you burn through your glycogen for that distance about 40 miles. And so then it really just becomes how good of a fat metabolizer you are. And I obviously found out for my first 100K that I'm pretty good at that. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how I feel stepping back down in distance. And now that I know a lot more about like what works for me nutritionally and how to troubleshoot things, that yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting to see how I adapt to that distance and what I know now. So.
Awesome. Um, okay, couple last. These are kind of just like general ultra questions that I think are fun to ask folks. So one, and we can focus on the women's side here. Which current elite road runner do you think would do the best if they switched to ultra or trail running right now?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, I mean, I know that like people have been talking about Des Linden going to the marathon. I mean, I think it's great. I mean, I was actually motivated and really inspired when I saw like Magdalena Belay go to ultras and trail running. I thought that was the coolest thing. And so yeah, I mean, I definitely encourage, I've been away from the marathon for so long that I don't even know all the people anymore. It's really, I'm trying to follow the thing now. Rather than being a participant where I kind of knew you knew who your competition was in the marathon. So yeah, I think Des Linden would definitely be a pretty cool to see her, step up and maybe try comrades in like 20. Let's see, what we're 2021. Maybe 22 is her year to step it up. So as far as other people, the thing about everybody says that the marathoners would crush ultras, and I got to dispel that myth because there's definitely been a lot of really good marathoners who have tried ultras and it just did not go as well as they had hoped. And I think it's one of those things that you find out if you have it or you don't beyond about 40 miles. And so yeah, I mean, once you deplete your glycogen, it all comes down to your slow twitch fibers and being able to make that shift to metabolizing body fat for energy. And the marathon might be too short. I think the marathon, you got to be a bit more fast twitch, and going beyond, you got to be a bit more slow twitch. But yeah, I think it probably, maybe 1 out of 10 marathoners would be really, really great at ultra running. And it's just a matter of more of them, having that courage to step up and to try it. So yeah, we'll give a wink to Des Linden.
Yeah, I think that's a great answer. And actually, I heard her interviewed on the Let'sRun.com podcast a while ago, and I remember her saying that she was interested in someday going to the ultra world. I think she even named comrades, and I was like, yeah, that would be a really good race for her. And she also named UTMB, and I was like, that's a big jump. Like that would be cool, but like let's start with comrades, Des. That sounds good.
Yeah, I guess what like Kara Goucher had stepped up and tried like a trail marathon, and I mean trail running is a whole other beast. Like I mean I tried it in 2016. It's one of those things that I mean it's like you're learning to ride a bike again, and you fall off the bike a couple times, and then one day you just like take off and you're just flying. So it's taken me several years to get the confidence with being able to push myself over technical terrain. And I mean that's something I see myself doing more of. I've really like mastered the whole ultra road running thing, and so I want to get into like multi-day ultras, which is also a whole other beat. and then and then all the trail running. I mean, I ran my first trail race here 5 years ago, and I haven't done UTMB yet. And I to be able to deep dive into that, it takes a lot of skill and a lot of practice, and it will humble you. It will humble you. I bet Jim could probably talk all about that. So yeah, I'm definitely inspired by watching other people do that, and yeah, I mean, it takes practice. It's like trying to ride a bike. So
Yep. No, I've experienced that, especially the falling off the bike part a lot in the last couple of years. Um, okay, one more last question. What advice would you give specifically to young women, girls, or even women who are already in the sport who want to get into ultra and trail running?
yeah, it's one of those things that you have to try over and over and over again. When I first tried ultras, I was not very good at it. I ran my first ultra was at Two Oceans in 2013, and I was finished in 10th place. And I remember like running, I was really nervous. I was very nervous. I didn't know how to pace myself, how to push, for that distance. And I realized like, with 8K to go, I was like, oh my gosh, the race is almost over. I better, book it. So, so I finished 10th, and I probably could have been discouraged and been like, oh, ultras aren't for me, but I said, well, let's try this again. And I ran comrades in 2014 and had a stomach virus going over to South Africa, and just it was a horrible experience for me. And so yeah, my first two tries were not very good. I had to try again. So I said 2015, I'm going to recommit myself to this. I'm going to change my training. I'm going to get this right. And sure enough, I did. I ran my first 100K, and like I said, it was like Billy Elliot doing ballet for the first time. So yeah, I don't, we talked about marathoners, young people, trying to step up and do trail running and ultras, and don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged at the first couple tries. Don't go that well. If you have to tweak your training. I found that doing more volume and longer long runs and that sort of thing wasn't working for me. It was making me feel more tired and flat. And so when I went back to more of my marathon training approach, that I felt better. I started to turn over and just feel more like myself. And so yeah, I'm gonna try again. You gotta keep trying at it, and you gotta have confidence. You gotta have confidence. I coach athletes and do phone chats with people all over the world, and they want to know, how do I have the confidence to do ultras the way I do and to go for records? And I say you just got to believe in yourself. I mean, I train at for 100K, I train at 80% of my max heart rate effort, and I know what that effort feels like, and I focus on that, and I grab the bull by the horns. I say, if I have a goal and I have this is what I'm planning to do, I grab the bull by the horns and I say, I'm going to do this. I focus on that 80% for 100K race, or going to comrades. I wanted to win the race. I went out there and I just did it. You got to have that confidence in yourself.
Absolutely. That's really well said. Okay, to wrap up, let us know what you've got for 2021 after Project Carbon X. Is there anything on the schedule that you're psyched about right now?
Yeah, I did an interview back in December, and they were laughing that the only thing that they saw me entered in for on Ultra sign up was Western States. So Western States is another one of those races that's kind of gotten away from me. That I feel like I've done so many things, and everybody says, well, Ann Trason won Western States 14 times, and obviously I don't know if I can win it 14 times, but just to try and win it once, I think would be a huge achievement, and to be able to cross that finish line would probably have the biggest smile on my face. So I'm definitely I've been humbled by Western States, and my first two times I had injuries, and just I wasn't able to it wasn't really my time yet to win it. And watching Jim, it took him 3 times to finally win the race, and he's won it twice. And Ann Trason, it took her 3 times, so maybe there's something to that.
Third time's a charm. That's what it sounds like.
3 times a charm. So yeah, I'm gonna press my luck, and this spring I'm hoping to do some more American trail races. I haven't signed up for Black Canyon yet, but I won that last year, and I'd like to go back and do that one. And the Lake Sonoma 50 miler, I'd like to do that one. And so what about Tyler? We need Tyler.
Oh man, I don't have anything like hard on the schedule yet. I would say Comrades is probably the most tentative thing that I've got lined up. And I think that's pretty contingent on whether the race happens or not. I think June is kind of right on the edge of whether they'll have a big race like that. But I would say that's probably the next big thing for me if it happens.
Yeah. Well, I've had a couple little birdies over there telling me that if it does happen, that they think it will get moved to September, and that it could possibly be an elite only event. So yeah, I would say to adjust your radar, to maybe the fall is when Comrades is happening, and yeah, yeah, it's one of those things that I tell you, it will humble you. It will humble you, like both you and Jim, and if we get Sage and maybe Hayden, I mean it's one of those things that will humble you, and I love it. It's one of those things that you just want to do it over and over and over again, and everybody has like the tattoo, and you get your green number, and like it's like it's such a cool thing. So yeah, I definitely hope we get to do that this year. And but otherwise, Tyler, I'm telling you that the trail racing's calling your name. So
We'll see. There's some people who probably disagree with that. Maybe the real runnable stuff, but we'll see. I'm still learning to ride my bike. We'll put it that way. Anyway, Camille, it's been really fun. I appreciate all your time. Looking forward to seeing you in a few days. Down in you're already in Chandler, but we'll be down there on Thursday, and yeah, we'll be cheering you on. It'll be exciting to be passing each other during the race, so we can give each other some shout outs as we go by.
What is it? Give you a fist pump or something.
Yeah, there we go. Awesome.
All right.
Well, thanks so much. We'll see you soon.
Sure. Awesome.
Have
Bye.
a good night. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Okay, thank you guys for listening all the way through. Chaski Chats is brought to you by Chaski Endurance Collective, a group of elite athletes reinventing online coaching. You can check out www.chaski.run to learn more and schedule your free coaching consultation. If you want to stay in the loop and contribute questions for future Chaski Chats, just make sure you follow at Chaski Endurance on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, or sign up for our newsletter on the website. Thanks again, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Have a good one.